Hello, people. Whoever's watching this, you can see my soul glowing from the bottom of the screen, sprouting into a nice, great redwood. That's what I am, a soul and a redwood. Sam Strauss, shout out. You can relate. I was gonna share some thoughts about whatever comes to mind and just talk. It's like I've been spending a lot of time alone in the woods, near the ocean, in the mountains, wherever during this pandemic. I've been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of getting to know myself, and so I really appreciate being alone with myself. It's not like I'm alone and depressed and sad about my solitude. I, in fact, have come to enjoy it quite a bit. It gives me breathing room from the webs of society, which are difficult to escape at times. So I've used this pandemic as an excuse to get out into nature. I've been on this 3.5 month road trip, I think. It's been freaking awesome, actually. I live in my van. I eat dirt cheap, so I don't dig into my savings. Although I guess it's happening bit by bit, but you know how it goes. I just don't want to be in the civilized world where people are just freaking out about this virus and all other things they're being told to freak out about. I just think it's better to relax, breathe, live in the moment, I guess. And so I've been reading a lot, writing a lot, meditating, being in nature. That's really all I was ever meant to do. And a lot of the things in society were just getting in my way. Impediments to becoming my authentic self. So it's all about becoming your authentic self. Like I said, you can see my soul, this beam of light at the bottom of the screen, and this great big tree. That's who I am. Oh man. I don't know if you can hear, but there's a nice little river flowing here, or creek rather. And then just that silent sound of trees kind of swaying and breathing, just being trees. And it's really soothing. I can imagine, actually, well, I've been in the kind of chaos of society recently. We have to wear these masks, and you can't even smile at someone else. You can't really you can say hello, but it's not the same. And everyone's just really tense, very unhappy, ready for a revolution in whatever way they want to take it. And I don't want to deal with that necessarily. So yeah, I've been focusing not on the chaos that's in the external world, because there's an overabundance of chaos right now, and plenty of people are just, everyone in this society has this kind of emotional void just caused by this capitalistic, materialistic, meaningless world that we live in. And in the chaos, all these bubbles of meaning are showing up, and people are just latching onto them. And it's, sometimes you can find some nice bubbles of meaning, I guess I called them, or some nice things to latch onto out in the world that will fulfill some kind of meaning in your identity. For example, I said I've been going out to the mountains and trees and the ocean and whatnot. Those are external things that I connect to and relate to my identity. But I wouldn't necessarily call those things chaotic. They can be, but there's a certain order about them. The natural order, which out of the chaos brings this bountiful, boundless beauty. And where was I going with this? So the point is, there are all these external things that you can cling to kind of create your own identity. But you have to learn to dig within yourself to find those forms of identity that you wish to create and give to the world, I guess. Because if you're spending a lot of your time scrolling through Instagram, seeing all the crazy stuff going on in the world, you're gonna react to that emotionally, and that instead of filling the void with something peaceful and beautiful and more internal, you're gonna fill your own self with that chaos and disorder that's going on into the world. And then you're gonna absorb that reality. You're gonna become that reality. And the person that you are is gonna become a manifestation of the forces of chaos and disorder, which are so rampant in the world. Oh, hello, dog. Hello. I'm just talking to myself. Yeah. So yeah, don't absorb the forces of chaos and let those dictate you. Let the forces of order and goodness and peace and beauty and harmony, which you can find within yourself, let those be your guide amidst the chaos. It's like Tupac said. I don't know how much this relates, but it relates. In fact, it relates deeply. He has this poem about the rose that grew from the concrete. And what is it? He says, something about, the rose persevering through the concrete, and like we shouldn't, I don't even know what he says, but it's beautiful because the concrete is the chaos, and out of the chaos you have to sprout, be your own little rose, your flower, and be a manifestation of beauty in the world. Because otherwise, what else are you going to do? You're just going to be sad and angry and fearful and just reverberate those frequencies into the world, and that's just no good for anyone at all. And violence is just going to keep leading to more violence and more violence and more violence. And I'm talking not just about physical violence, but metaphorical violence as well. Violence in the minds. Who knows? Who knows? But in this little rant that didn't really have any purpose or direction, I guess what I'm trying to say is you don't have to let the external world reach you. You have this internal world. Maybe it's in your heart, maybe it's in your mind, somewhere in between. And you can access it at any time. And there's this boundless, pure silence down there. I guess this is Marcus Aurelius speaking through me. If you read the Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, he talks a lot about kind of recognizing how everything that's going on around you is ephemeral, is temporary, is not going to last very long at all. In comparison to the multi-billion-year-old universe, it's just a little fragment of dust. It's just a mere nothing. But what's within is eternal. And so you have to ground yourself not in these ephemeral, temporary things, but in what's internal and eternal within. And when you ground yourself in all things eternal, nothing external or material or temporary can have any impact on you. And then one day you're going to die. And your whole lifetime will have been but a fragment in the face of infinity and eternity. But your soul will live on, much like this soul right here will sprout into a big tree. That's all I have to say. Who knows what the hell I just said.